Welcome back once again, everybody, to another episode of the Bad Moon's Orbit. I am, as always, your Damon Smith, Dalton Montgomery.
And I'm Captain of the Watch, Darian Smart.
And if you, as we maybe suspect, are a first-time listener, saw something about Helsmiths of Hashut, and are looking to know a little bit more about Age of Sigmar's newest faction, found our podcast, clicked on it, well, first off, welcome. We're so happy to have you. If you're a longtime listener, we're also extremely happy to have you.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
Hey, thanks for listening through those early episodes. Gang, early indie podcasting is always a little rough.
Yep. Happy to have learned some things along the way, especially on the editing side of it. Yeah, just a little bit of a brief reintroduction for anyone who's new or anyone who has been a while. I'm Dalton. I am our resident Warhammer Age of Sigmar fan. I've got the knowledge, the notes, the visual aids.
And I'm Darian, and I do multiple other podcasts.
Yeah.
I'm also legally not allowed to learn anything else about Warhammer outside of this podcast, because that's the bit.
Yeah.
I wanted to set expectations up front so no one hears me being nonsensical and gets mad.
I know a lot. Darian knows more now than when we started. Yeah.
Only what has been discussed on this podcast, and maybe only 40% of that stayed in my brain. And that's not a knock on Dalton or the content. That's also not a knock on the content. I find it all fascinating. It's delightful. All of my reactions are genuine. My brain doesn't absorb things if it's only told to me once. And I'm not taking notes.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, welcome to the Bad Moon's Orbit.
Oh, also super important, not a 40K podcast. We are both queer.
Yes. Yeah.
And if you have a problem with that, you should definitely stop listening.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, if you're looking for excellent AOS content, we are super happy to have you. But if you're gonna get weird, that
leave.
We're gonna talk about our lived experiences and or
the way those lived experiences reflect our interpretation of this piece of media.
Yes.
You can go find a different free media. You can find other free entertainment to spend your time with. If that feels a little aggressive, I'm talking to you specifically. And if you're listening to this and that seems fair, you can stay. Have a seat. Have a cookie.
Yeah. we didn't make any, but you could get some.
I got some Pillsbury in the fridge.
True.
Do you want I got ones with ghosts or ones with black cats. You tell me which one you want. I'll go make some. You want some tea? I'll give you some tea. I assume that if you've stayed through all of that preamble, then you're someone that I would serve tea to. So.
We're recording this on the first day of October, so black cats and or ghosts are compulsory on the cookies. So
yes, so that's actually not an option. I can't not.
I don't know
I have.
I don't know if this is a well-known fact, but all Pillsbury dough transmogrifies into black cats or ghosts on the 1st of October, regardless of what it's for.
And pumpkins.
Yeah, yes, pumpkins. Pumpkins are very important. Pumpkins are very important. We got a Queen CD in the glove box. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, Dalton, what's this?
So, yes, we are talking about the Helsmiths of Hashut today. Hashut is our minor chaos entity that has a kind of weird history that we're going to get into a little bit today. So if you do have an interest in Helsmith, you might be familiar with their contemporary from the old world, just very simply named Chaos Dwarves.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I always use the most basic descriptor for the thing, but the fact that they were just called Chaos Dwarves did just throw me for a loop. Like, I so wasn't prepared for just you couldn't copyright that. That's too basic.
Yes, Helsmiths of Hashut is definitely the AOSification. Like, we need to be able to put stamp a trademark on this in the way we can't for Chaos Dwarves.
All of the crazy race names, were they all just called normal ass stuff in the old world?
Yeah. Yeah. The equivalent for, like, we talked about Ironjaws 2 episodes ago, and if you played a army in the old world of those, like, of that same style, that was your orcs and goblins army. Yeah.
We have so much to cover in this episode. I cannot go down this 2 episodes from now. Whatever we talk about after we wrap. This is going to be a 2-parter, gang. Yes. 2 episodes from now. I will revisit what I'm feeling in this moment. Okay, I'm putting it in a box. I'm letting it go. I'm back in the moment.
Chaos Dwarves of the old world, very popular faction in the old world. They got that special something that makes them really interesting. And there have been hints at their equivalent in AOS for quite some time, all the way back into first edition. We were getting little hints here and there about the rumblings of the like Chaos Dwarf equivalents in the deep. And we finally have, their full like AOSification. There was like a weird thing very early on in the setting with Legions of Asgara, I want to say. I didn't look them up because I intentionally didn't want to conflate like old lore with new lore. But basically, it was just an extension of a similar thing that happened a lot in first edition AOS, where it was like, hello, people who currently own Chaos Dwarf models, come play our new game. And then come like late second edition, they were just like, anyways, that's not canon. And
done with that. Nope, that's not a thing anymore.
Yep. And the same thing happened with old Bretonnia models and old Tomb Kings models, where it was just like, we're going to let you play, but this won't be a part of our storytelling. And you know what? Fair.
Yeah, fair. If you're going to do such a hard reset, it's a hard reset.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Helsmiths. I want to open the talk of proper discussion this episode in the same way that the book opens discussion of Helsmiths. The realms belong to us.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's going to be our tone setting for these folk. Like I have in my notes, it really nails it with the opening line. So Helsmiths or Zardron is the how they refer to themselves in Kazalid, the ancient language of the dwarves. Zardron means people of fire.
Okay.
Yes, that is fire of ambition. That is the fire of
that's what
industry.
That's what the new Na'vi tribes in the Avatar movie is called.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna get our water dwarves and our air dwarves. We'll have our air dwarves actually, I guess, because that's the Caradron.
Yeah, they're all just in the air. And then the water dwarves got ate by the fish people who steal your souls.
Yeah. Rip. No. And I guess they're all the earth dwarves.
And they're all just the earth dwarves, because that's basic. Yeah, absolutely. We did it. Okay, moving on.
Yeah. Zardron see themselves as... So, yeah, we mentioned before there's going to be a 2-part episode. There's just too much to talk about here. They're a brand new faction. So the way we're going to structure this episode is, or these 2 episodes rather, is this episode I really want to focus on the big picture stuff with Helsmiths. I want to talk about their like cultural norms. I want to talk about their history, where they've been, what they've been up to, and why now. The last section of my notes. Yes, last section of my notes for this episode is what is the reason, because we're going to see that the Helsmiths trace their like history all the way back into like the Age of Myth. So why is it that only now are they like making themselves a presence in the setting?
Ooh,
And I think it has a really interesting answer for that. So that's the intent for the first episode. And then the next episode, we're going to go into more specifics. If you're a longtime listener, you know we like to do our famous faces. That'll be in the next episode. We only have one for right now. They're a brand new faction.
I mean, yeah. If you're also a longtime listener, you know we aren't going to tell you how to play this.
Correct.
So if you're, that's the thing I just realized. If you're here to be like, I want to learn how to do this.
Right.
Wrong show.
Yes.
So sorry.
Yes.
But if you want to like learn how to narratively play this, that could help.
Yeah.
If you're looking for strats.
Yes.
No, I'm so sorry.
We're a lore podcast. I could wax about what's probably going to be like strategically cool for this faction, but it's not why we're here.
I won't be able to dunk on that.
Exactly.
We'll have no context for anything that's happening.
Invest in bull centaurs.
That's
that's my advice.
Yep.
They're fast. They hit hard.
Nice.
Those are the 2 most important things in Warhammer. Anyways.
Fast and hit hard. Yeah. Oh, hey, Dalton. For anyone who's listening for the first time, real quick, what factions do you play?
Oh, yeah. I am our resident all-around-the-world destruction player. My main faction is Gloomspite Gits, but I also play Ironjaws and Sons of Behemoth. But I've been playing since near the end of 2nd edition, and so I'm not the longest-serving like member of the community, but I've really fallen in love with the setting, as can be evidenced by the podcast that I co-host. Yeah.
My qualification for being here is I am actively trying to collect all 41 Discworld books.
Yeah.
Finding them only at secondhand bookshops.
Yes.
So that's what I bring to the table. That's the energy I'm here to bring.
I mean, honestly, an incredibly important qualification.
I have 27 of them. I just picked up 18.
We're getting there.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I want to tell everybody about it.
It's very
all
important.
Right.
Yes.
Focus up. We got too much to do.
Awesome. So let's talk the big picture. So, like I said, Helsmiths of Hashut refer to themselves as Zardron, folks of fire, and the most important thing, the kind of big, in addition to that like opening line, like quote, the realms belong to us. The most important thing I think from my like read of the Battle Tome is that they see themselves. So we talked a little bit about dwarven history in previous episodes. If you want to see more than that, you can check out our episodes on Shaman, primarily, and a little bit on Akshi. They're both early episodes, so watch the sound quality. So, like, in the Age of Myth, Grungni and Grimnir, right, were going around. Grungni aided in the origination of what would be known as the Khazalid Empire, right? That's your big, like, mega nation state of dwarves in Shaman. They had tech and science and huge cities and all these crazy advancements and like high quality of life and like automatons and like all these crazy like accomplishments and stuff that
it's a city of industry.
Yeah, exactly. That all got like swept away with the Age of Chaos.
Yeah,
right?
That's right.
One of the inciting events of the Age of Chaos, right, is the destruction of the Lode Griffin. Just grabs Shaman and twists the whole thing. All those like big nation states and stuff just literally cracked along the seams and torn to pieces. All that history lost. The whole place suffused with hostile chaos magic. Pretty much everyone who survived either fled to other realms. That's kind of what ended up with like the Fire Slayers and stuff.
Yep.
Or the Caradron are a big part of that legacy, where they already had some like airships they took to the skies. They exist almost entirely on their like big floating platform trade posts now.
That is a fun vibe.
It's so good. Yeah.
Can you imagine being a rapscallion young 12-year-old just being on the Caradron? That's a good middle grade adventure novel right there. Warhammer AOS could really stand to branch out. And like, I know there are a lot of novels, and the novels are like for the adults who are playing the game. But like, let's branch out into middle grade. And let's do a middle grade series about a rapscallion young dwarf who lives in the That's just a vibe.
I don't know how much of this I'm hallucinating, but I know that at one point there was a like middle grade, I think it was a comic book for 40K. Well, which is much crazier.
That is much crazier.
40K is much worse. Vibe-wise, 40K
for, like,
is much
worse.
Yeah.
What the themes of this game are focused on? Not to say that children cannot or should not read things that have these like darker or dire tones. But like, if there's only been a one middle grade comic written from the Warhammer Collective, that was a wild one to pick.
Yes. But yeah, so Khazalid Empire falls apart during the Age of Chaos. The Caradron get in their ships, they take off. Everyone who like does it to survive, right? Like there's just no salvaging the Khazalid Empire. The whole place is ruined with chaos magic. A lot of dwarves end up just like going and living amongst like human populations in other realms and stuff. Those will eventually become what are called the dispossessed, who see themselves as abandoned by their gods and find refuge in eventually Sigmar cities, coming with the Age of Sigmar. Yeah,
that tracks. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely. So that's our brief history lesson on the Khazalid Empire. It's going to be important because the other big defining psychological thing for the Helsmiths is that they see themselves as the true inheritors of the Khazalid Empire.
Interesting.
Yes.
That's always a very interesting cultural choice to make about your group of people, is that you're the true inheritors of an ancient lost noble empire. What a vibe.
Yep.
What a decision that is.
What a decision.
Capital C choice.
Yes. To capital C chaos dwarf.
Capital CH.
Yeah. To hear that this is probably an important time because I'm probably going to say it at least once per episode. The truncation that people tend to prefer when they're talking about him, because Chaos Dwarf is a lot of syllables, is chorf.
No, I hate that bad.
So I don't know if I'm gonna end up saying chorf. I probably will say chorf at least once during this episode.
I won't comment on it every time, or I might. We'll see what's funnier in the moment.
It's true. You're not wrong. That is very much our vibe. To hear them tell it, the Helsmiths, they did not run. They did not cower when chaos approached. They broke it over their knee, as is the Duardin way.
Sure you did, buddy.
Right? I have a quote from the book. Who but us have proved deserving of this crop?
So the premise of the book, like the meta of the book, is not the meta of the book, but like the kayfabe of the book is that this faction of dwarves is the one who wrote the book.
Yes.
So it's not like an outside observer.
On and off.
Okay.
tends to be, and this is a way with a lot of Warhammer books where we'll get stuff that's from, or a lot of Battletomes specifically, is we'll get stuff from kind of the loose perspective of like an omnipotent like narrating voice. Mm-hmm. And it is like part of what I really, so I read this whole book in a day. I reread it when I was doing the notes, but.
And how long ago did this book come out?
Saturday.
Yeah, okay. And we are recording this, it is Wednesday.
Yes. I really like, because that happens in a lot of Battletomes, but I really like the way it's done here, because the Helsmiths are, more than maybe any other faction I've like researched for this podcast, certainly the most delusional group of people in the setting. Like the contrast between the things that they are saying like in their own sections that are like written in story from their perspective, and the way that like omnipotent narrative voice like describes what's happening are so distant from each other that you can almost like, there are parts of it where you can see how like, oh, we've twisted this to suit our ends, or we're choosing to interpret this in a way to suit our ends. And there's some stuff that's just like, okay, so that's just false. That's like just you have wrong. Just fabricated that for self-serving reasons.
Fascinating.
Yes. The true inheritors of the Khazalid Empire thing is a part of a larger fabric of like kind of the Helsmith psychology, where I would... So they are a Chaos Aligned faction. Like I said, the Chaos Dwarf moniker doesn't come from nowhere. For most Chaos factions, I would say that Chaos Aligned characters tend to fall somewhere on a spectrum between like don't know what they're doing to aware they're the bad guys, right? Like Chaos is such that for the most part, most people who serve Chaos don't know like what Chaos is.
Yeah.
Like they've been tricked into it, or they're serving a power that they don't really know the larger scheme of,
some sort of mysterious eldritch force that they don't know.
Yes.
Would be a chaos demon,
yeah,
basically.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Or like, yeah, their traditional like practices have been subsumed into chaos worship.
Yeah.
Or
we talked a lot about the Corn episode, where a lot of like nomadic cultural traditions got slowly and intentionally over time. What if we just did this instead?
Yes.
What if we added this little element until they became rituals for Corn?
Yes. But then once you've been in chaos worship for long enough, and especially if you choose to like walk further down the path to glory, like I don't think there's any like chosen of chaos who don't know what they are.
Yeah.
Right. Like the people who are furthest along it know they're the bad guys. They've been spurned in some way where they are willing to let the world burn. They're willing to be like enactors of that. But they're not out here being like, actually, it's best for everybody if we destroy everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
There's not.
No.
Like there's no.
At best, they are aware of what they are doing. And
at this stage, they revel in it and want to do it, and are fully like bought into it. Not even a version of a masquerade of what it is, just straight up what it is.
That I think that's one of the most compelling things about like how chaos is portrayed, is that it gets simpler the more you are into it. Right?
Yeah.
Like someone on the very edge of corn worship, right, for example, can find justification, can find reason for like why you need to be like in this worship of violence, why you need to be able to do more violence in order to accomplish your goals, in order to maybe protect people, in order to protect your ideals. And the people at the furthest end of chaos worship are barely literate, like mad dogs, right? Like that's what chaos does to a person. So yeah, at best, like a chaos chosen is going to be, like willfully reveling in being evil. At worst, they're still going to know they're the bad guys, but they're going to be like disillusioned with it, where it's just like, might as well destroy the world because I can't get out of this now. And so
I'm already in it. So it's sunk cost fallacy. I can't stop.
Yes, absolutely. Helsmiths aren't that. Helsmiths think they're the good guys.
Oh shit.
Yes, they are fully. That's what I say when I say that they're like one of the most deluded factions that I've learned about, is that they fully believe their own like propaganda, basically.
No.
Yes.
Oh, that's so embarrassing.
Right. Right. But it's hell of propaganda. So let's talk a little bit about that, like propaganda. The big defining thing for Helsmith. So talking on the level of aesthetics, talking on the level of like the fiction that differentiates them from other like dwarven factions, especially.
Like Caradron, I always picture very steampunky.
Yes,
very steampunk
absolutely.
pirate-esque.
Yep. Caradron are our steampunk pirates. Fireslayers are our like mostly naked, like hammer runes into their bare skin to show how tough they are, like in a very kind of like Viking warrior tradition way. Helsmiths are industry. Helsmiths are the, like, it's a good contrast with like Grungni, because Grungni, right, is the dwarven god of making. He's the maker god, and that demonstrates itself in a lot of like craftsmanship, craftsdwarfship.
Craftsdwarfship. What are they called in AOS?
Dwarden, craft dwardenship.
Okay, there we go. We did it.
But so Grungni is the maker god, and that's a lot of like artisan skill, right?
Do you think if you had a race, I'm so sorry,
You're fine.
of octopuses, like sentient, not that octopuses aren't sentient, but like hyper intelligent, resourceful octopuses, the phrase handiwork wouldn't exist. It would be tentacle work.
Yeah, actually be because I learned this recently. Octopuses don't have tentacles.
What are those things?
They have arms. Because a tentacle has to have the like wide arrowhead on the end.
Squid
have tentacles.
What? Those are just arms?
Yes. So we just call them arms because to be a tentacle you have to, or it's not the arrowhead thing. Sorry, a tentacle only has suction on the end of it. So squids and cuttlefish and like octopus related animals have tentacles.
But octopus have the suction all
the way up their arm. So they're not tentacles. They're just arms. Yeah.
So if you had a society of hyper intelligent cuttlefish.
You mean more intelligent? No.
I don't know much about cuttlefish.
No.
I do know quite a bit about mimic octopuses. Let's get back to the episode. That was supposed to be a one-off.
No! Dear listeners, we're called the Bad Moon's Orbit because, like the Bad Moon itself, Joe, check out our Gits episode. We're all over the place.
You thought of it at the front. I didn't even realize that. Wow, you totally covered our bases.
We revel in the chaos. Speaking of chaos, yes. So, yes, the thing that makes Helsmith, it is industry in that very clean-cut way. Like, a Helsmith is not going to their workshop and making, like, hand-quenching a sword and masterfully engraving, like, carvings and runes on it. They are plate stamping out 100 swords in an hour. Like, yes, it is automation. It is mass production.
Industrial revolution.
Yes, absolutely. And the secret sauce that makes all of that work in like the Helsmiths thing is Helsmiths have discovered and perfected the technology and magic associated with binding demons into stuff.
Oh, shit.
Yes,
what?
That's
very cool.
Yes, that's their thing. That is their bread and butter. That is what lets them believe this like kind of core principle of we are not like a chaos faction.
Yeah.
We are not aligned with chaos. We are not doing chaos's bidding. We have conquered chaos. We are using chaos.
Oh no, I can see where they're coming from.
Yes. It's good propaganda.
Yeah.
That act, demon smithing, because they're demon, or they're still demons. It's just spelled with an A.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to say demon. Demon smiths master the like craft of binding demons into weapons and engines and armor and all manner of stuff.
Cool.
It's pretty cool, right?
No, that's pretty cool.
It's very cool. Like I said, it's no wonder they're a fan favorite.
Yeah.
And
I also would have been bummed out if I was playing an army of dwarves that could bind demons to swords and then I got phased out when my whole world was exploded. Like, yeah. I can see why people would be kind of bummed out about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And now they're back. And I'm very excited
it's only
for
been 15 years.
It's true. So that, like I said, that core truth, that core like thing that they do informs their worldview in a lot of different ways. Because one, binding demons is extremely dangerous.
I would imagine.
It's very resource and like labor intensive, but demons are kind of a limitless resource. And Helsmiths, like I said, it's a combination of that as their like core competency and that like interpretation of themselves as the true inheritors of like the Khazalid Empire, where Helsmiths have it's really interesting because they both view themselves as the rightful inheritors of just like everything, right? Like we are Dwarden, we are the true children of like the maker gods. All of the materials of the realms are just things that exist so that we can make them into something better.
Oh, okay.
Yes. It's that very consumption, very like land exploitation.
Yeah. That thing.
Mindset. It's a almost very
It's Industrial Revolution.
I was gonna say it's Industrial Revolution with a little bit of like, I don't know the proper like religious terminology, but there was a strain of thought in like Christianity for a long time, pre kind of like Darwin, like understanding of how like species evolve and stuff, that like the world existed for humans, right? That we couldn't meaningfully like change or ruin it in any way because it was here for us to use. And so it's a little bit of that as well, where to the Helsmiths, it's not even a question of whether they should, it's that they can.
They can.
And
they must.
They must, because it all belongs to them. There's a bit in the book about if a Helsmith artillery crew saw an enemy and they calculated that it would take them 5 shots from their cannon to destroy that enemy, they would shoot it 7 times, because then they guarantee it and they get to revel in the fact that they can be wasteful. Because everything belongs to them.
You know, the Disney Pocahontas movie is deeply troubling, but I do think these folks need to listen to Colors of the Wind.
Yes. Yes, the whole world is one big piggy bank that no one else in existence has claim to. That's their obsession, is that everything belongs to them, and they're mad when anyone else tries to take it, because it belongs to them. Like, and again, that's influenced by the true inheritor of the Khazalid Empire thing. That's influenced by the demon smithing thing, where like they just can't even imagine like resource scarcity on some level. Because A, the realms are huge, and B, they're used to not. Like we're doing the most important thing with it. We figured out the like cool thing.
Yeah.
So we should get to use everything, because you didn't figure out the cool thing.
Yeah, so you
would just waste it.
You're just wasting it.
Yes.
You're not using it right, and so we have to take it from you because you'll break it otherwise.
Yes. The last quote I have in the like kind of core identity bit right here in the intro is another quote from the book discussing like how Helsmiths view the other like dwarf factions. You were too weak to do what must be done. It is not just that we were the ones who stayed and we were the ones who like fought chaos or like fought, quote unquote, fought chaos, but it's that we were willing to make the hard choices, the things that like don't look good, basically, in order to keep this. And so now we get free reign of it forever is the idea.
Okay.
So speaking of Chaos Faction, I have a section of my notes called Chaos Faction ?
Yeah. I'm also like, hey, but like, does the demon binding not work in their favor? Like, clearly this is bad. Because I recognize the premise.
Yeah.
But like, is it? Like, what makes it bad? Why is this not actually a good thing?
So it all comes down to, because they do bind demons. Those do make their like weapons and armor and stuff more potent, more capable, more dangerous. But they don't have as good a handle on as they think they do. The binding, yes, because like they do successfully trap stuff. You know very quickly if you didn't successfully trap a demon because it kills you. But
you don't get a second chance.
No. But they think that it is just this like contained thing that doesn't affect them, when that's clearly not the case from all the evidence we have.
You've just made a lot of cursed swords.
Yes.
Made a lot of cursed items.
And then you say, no, I've always had tusks. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yes. There it is.
So the Helsmiths don't see themselves as aligned with chaos. They see themselves as in control of it. And that is a joke as old as the setting itself, right? Like there are a dozen Chaos Warlords all the way back into Age of Sigmar, or not all the way back into Warhammer Fantasy, whose shtick was, I'm not going to fall to Chaos. I'm just going to use its power while it's expedient. And then before you know it, you've been doing Chaos's will for so long that's all you've got left.
Sunk cost fallacy, you can't stop now.
But they've carved out enough like provisos and caveats that they can keep believing it even as it becomes increasingly untrue, right? Increasingly obviously untrue.
Okay.
So let's talk about the big indicators of being a Chaos faction. Mutation. All Chaos Dwarves like suffer from mutation. That's just what happens when you are in the, and they do a really interesting thing with this where they blend it with, so Chaos mutation generally gets to you through high exposure to magic, which is chaos, or like, magical objects, or like realm stone, which is pure distilled magic. So all that tracks with like what the Helsmiths are doing, right? Like they imbue demons into their weapons. They are just exposed to a lot of like raw chaos all the time because demons are made of magic.
Yeah.
But there's a nice like syncretism there where most of the exposure they're getting is from the actual industrial processes of what they're making. And so it's not just, oh, you've been holding a sword with a demon in it for 10 years of military service. It's also you live in like an apartment complex that's down the road from the huge forge that we use to melt down the metal we've bound demons into. And that is giving off like industrial smog, which is already,
demons.
Yes. So we get like chaos pollution basically is what, and we get, like I said, we get this really interesting syncretism where all of these things that we would classically think of as like normal pollution stuff, like we have these dwarves getting like miner's lung and like
radon girls.
Just normal, like just normal effects of like really intense pollution, but all of that through like a chaos flavor as well.
Interesting, yeah.
To the point where some like sects of Helsmiths, because also the other big defining thing, as is indicated in the name, is that all of the Helsmiths worship Hashut. He is our emergent like chaos dwarf deity. And we're going to talk about him a little bit here in a minute, or we're going to talk about him a lot here in a minute.
Yeah.
But they have already like religiously like sectized and like fractured and have like different interpretations and stuff.
Of course.
But one of the,
is this guy real?
Hashut? Yes, very much so.
I have questions about gods and them being real or not when we have our whole like god gang that broke up.
Yeah.
And it's like, but we only picked those guys, so what about these other dudes that keep showing up and apparently also gods?
This one we have a little bit of an answer to. It's going to get complicated. Yes. But yeah, there's like a sect of like Hashut worshippers that interpret industrial waste as like divine. Like they, there's a really cool line talking about like, the kind of like religious imagery that we would be used to, the like incense and the like candles and all that, seeing in the like choking smog cloud of a factory tower, the incense of worship, right? Like the glow of the forges as an act of reverence, right? Steady beat of like hammers on anvils as worship.
Oh, damn.
Right?
Yeah.
And the pollution comes with that. And so there's like some sects of Hashut worship who like they see the chaos corruption in themselves, the mutation in themselves, and they go, like these are the blessings of Hashut delivered unto us by the smog, by the smoke and the cinders.
Oh, damn.
Right?
Yeah, they are delusional.
Yes. But those are just the minor mutations, right? Like Helsmiths tend to grow tusks, which it doesn't really elaborate on in the book, but I have my speculation that we'll talk about when we talk about Hashut's origin a little bit.
Oh, okay.
So dwarves as a rule don't tend to do magic. It's a quirk of how they were created in the old world that they just aren't good conduits for it. That was one of the things that the old ones experimented with when they were creating dwarves, is we're going to make ones that are just like resistant to magic and hopefully in that also be resistant to chaos corruption. And it kind of worked, except for these guys. But it also means the dwarves are bad at magic.
Yeah,
they just can't focus it in the same way.
We did talk about this in like episode 0.
Yes. Helsmiths still, like, that's why they bind demons into stuff. That's why they tend to work through like runes and whatnot. But you need wizards to bind demons. Like the arcane craft required for it, you just have to be a wizard to do. But anyone who practices magic as a Helsmith slowly starts to turn to stone.
Whoa!
Yes. And that is not, in the old world, that was kind of implied to be like a thing of like dwarven biology. Like any dwarf that practiced magic would turn to stone.
Okay.
In Age of Sigmar, at the very least, it is clarified that that is not a natural thing. That is a extension of like the Helsmith moral philosophy. Everything has to come at a price. That is one of the great tenets of Hashut.
Okay.
And so anyone who dabbles in magic gets turned to stone by Hashut.
What?
Yes. That's the cost you pay for seeking power. Again,
Okay.
it's a fucked up moral philosophy is the bit, right? Like power is suffering, like wanting is a thing that you have to be punished for. Do it anyways.
Oh God.
They're bad. Like we
bad.
talked in the last episode about Nagash and how he's an excellent like point of narrative, and it would suck if he was real.
Yeah.
That's Helsmith. We're gonna be talking a lot about these little dudes who suck terribly, and I'm so happy they exist because they're neat.
Yeah. This is fun.
Yeah. But yes, so stone skin, the tusks, and then the big one. So any number of like baby like Helsmiths are born with mutation. Most of those, the book says, just get kind of quietly thrown away.
Wait. But they're all mutated already.
Yes, but like severe mutations. Like if you are born a mutant, they just kind of drop you in the dumpster and walk away because, again, they don't see it as mutation. Like Helsmiths with the tusks or with the stone skin, those are the blessings of Hashut, obviously. But if you come out with 4 arms, then, well, your mom must have just gotten too much industrial smog. Anyways, we're going to drop that baby in the dumpster and we're going to move on.
That's crazy.
That's very
obviously,
crazy. But
like,
yeah, it's an extension of their,
Yeah. You have tusks. You know what? That's because the whole we bind demons to weapons thing is really cool.
Yes.
And so the folks who are working on this faction, this group realized, like the writers realized, we have to really make sure folks don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
Like if you want to play, that's cool.
Yeah.
We're all playing a fun fantasy game here. That's fine. It's not a reflection on your morality or beliefs as a person.
Obviously not.
But like we do need to make it very clear.
You need to know they
that
suck.
Like they suck. Don't let this one pretty cool thing make you think that they are cool. They're not.
Yes.
So how do we do that? They throw out the babies. And yeah, that really does suck any sort of like positive affection one might have for this fictional collective right out of the room.
I'm going to divert in my notes a little bit to talk about, because I feel like it's like a kind of a core part of their psyche. Because I talked about how the demon like binding was important to their like cultural values, but I didn't really elaborate on that, and I feel like I should.
Okay.
I talked about how it was like very dangerous. Binding even like a simple demon to like a simple weapon takes days.
Dagger.
And those days you cannot stop. Part of the reason why like Helsmiths are Dwarden is that like endurance factor, where the process of, like I said, like getting the demon, capturing them, binding them to the thing in such a way that they won't be able to break free means like multiple dozens of hours incanting straight. No food, no water, no rest, just doing that you immediately go to days straight of carving runes into the thing that you are binding the demon to. Again, no rest, no food, no water, no break, no sleep.
Damn.
So that whole process takes like a week straight where you are not eating, not sleeping, not drinking. And if you do anything wrong at any point during that process, that demon breaks free. It definitely kills you.
Yeah.
And it almost certainly like destroys what you're making around you, which in the eyes of the Helsmiths is the bigger crime.
Yeah.
Like,
Of course.
and so that is the influence on their psyche. That is their like obsession with perfection, is that they have to be able to trust at every step of this process? And why not just make it every step of every process, that everyone is doing what they're supposed to be doing perfectly?
Okay, I see.
Yeah. So that's
I understand.
that's the bit with the babies. That's the bit with the, like, if this isn't perfect, you throw it away.
That's what a fixed mindset.
Yeah. Oh,
These folks
yes.
have the most fixed mindset. Oh, no.
Oh, yes. But there's one exception to the mutants rule.
Okay.
Kind of the far end of that, like, core, like, oh, the tusks and the stone skin are signs of, like, Hashut's favor, or, like, signs of Hashut's, like, presence. At the far end of that spectrum, a Helsmith baby that is born as a quadruped is spirited away because they are destined to grow up into bull centaurs.
Oh, God. Oh, you mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, I mentioned at the top of the episode. Hashut's holy animal is the bull.
Okay.
And Dwarden, who, like, centaur, like, come out with, like, that four-legged, like, centaur lower half, grow up to be bull centaurs, who are, like, icons of worship, as well as, like, really well treated, like, military like staples.
Dalton, I don't usually ask this. Can I see the bull centaur?
You can.
Usually we wait to the part of the episode where Dalton will start to direct the visual aids.
There's two of them.
Picture. I need to see. That's Gilgamesh.
They have I don't know if I mentioned that yet. Helsmiths have a very, like, Byzantine aesthetic to, like, how they do their beards. Hashut's holy structure is the ziggurat.
That's
Yep.
Yeah. Damn, these guys are cool.
Right?
Like, yeah.
Upper half dwarf, lower half bull.
The horns and yeah, it's not just like, oh, they got, like, 4 dwarf legs. They literally have, like, the bull. They got the hooves.
Yeah.
That's cool. I just did a bonus episode for Muses where we talked about City of the Plague God, which is a Riordan Presents imprint, is about Mesopotamian mythology. And so we talked about the Epic of Gilgamesh, and then DJ's like, here's he in Smite, because that's what we do on my podcast. And then I looked up Gilgamesh in Smite. Anyway, he looks just like that guy, but hotter. So, also, Nurgle.
What about Nurgle? Sorry.
Yeah. That the demon, the plague demon?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I also didn't realize that the Mesopotamian plague god was Nurgle.
Oh.
That's where they got his
they just
name
took
from.
that name.
They
Cool.
named him, I mean, they spelled it different.
Yeah.
But the god of, like, Babylonian, Mesopotamian plagues and war, because they're all the gods of war in something, was Nurgle.
Cool.
And
the
I've
more you
been,
know.
like,
I didn't know that. Yeah.
I've been wanting to share that the whole episode, but I was like, no, it's not relevant. That's why I actually looked that thing up on my phone earlier. I'm like, Nurgle's the god, right? Yeah, that's the chaos, the sicky chaos boy.
Yeah.
And I was just like wanting to share it, but I'm like, I can't derail the episode. Like, I'm not. So that was also why I said so loudly, it's Gilgamesh, because in that moment I realized I can share the Nurgle thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not. I did not distract us like I did with the octopus arms. Come on.
No, it's all in good. It's all part of the podcast. Other chaos stuff aligns with other chaos factions. So again, the Helsmiths do not consider themselves a chaos faction. They do not consider themselves an enthrallment to chaos, but they work with chaos. Mostly because no one else will work with them.
Yeah.
But also because, again, they still see themselves as above it, right? Like, the Helsmiths will trade some of their, like, really nice crafted guns or whatever to this, in their mind, like, horde of barbarian riffraff, right? Like, ooh, we'll entice them with our shiny trinkets so they run off and fight a guy that we don't want to deal with, or trade us this, like, magical secret that they, like, scrounged or scavenged or whatever. It's always a, like, looking down upon them relationship, right? They do not see themselves as allies making, or equals making alliance. They see themselves as exploiting the other factions of chaos in the same way that they exploit demons.
And that Pocahontas comment I made earlier is
Yeah.
way on point. But I can also, like, the thing you mentioned earlier about the, hey, we think everything belongs to us.
Yes.
All the realms, all the resources, it is for us.
Yes.
And I can see other people not wanting to hang out with you.
Correct.
Like the orcs like to knock shit over, and that's, like, a thing.
Yeah.
But they don't think, like, it's not like they are looking at the folks who built the thing and think you don't deserve to live
Yes.
where you have the thing.
Yes.
I'm not going to thing over because otherwise you'd build walls around yourself.
Yes.
Right? Like that. And so even when it's like, oh, God damn it, the orcs are coming, they're going
Right.
to knock over our thing. If push comes to shove, you're going to work with those, you're going to work with the orcs
Right.
to fight some chaos demons.
Yes.
If it pops off.
Yes.
You're not going to want to work with these dudes. They
No.
suck.
I was going to say,
They're just dicks.
might makes right is like a dog shit moral philosophy. Like that's the philosophy of most orcs, right? Like we're going to kick the wall over because we can.
Yeah.
But at least that's still like a philosophy wherein you can be wrong,
Yeah.
right? Like where someone bigger can, in fact, be more right than you.
Yeah, where like they're like, hey, I'm the biggest, but it feels like they don't fundamentally believe that nothing else is better than
Correct.
them, or that they are better than everything else. There's always the possibility that someone stronger or bigger
Yeah.
is gonna roll up.
Yes.
Giants exist.
Yes.
Like, and that's the thing they're acutely aware of. It's just, I'm the biggest guy here, I'm gonna do what I want, but another bigger guy could always come
Yeah.
around the bend. I gotta keep my head on a swivel. These guys
Yes.
fundamentally believe they're better than everybody.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And they're that like hubris fuels so much of their decision making. But so yeah, they're exploitative towards the other like chaos factions whenever they can get away with it. The two exceptions, they hate more than anyone else, except for the other dwarf factions who they hate the most. Skaven. They despise Skaven.
Bruh, you
They-
gotta chill.
They see Skaven as like a mockery of what they are, basically. Where and not directly, like they would never make that comparison, but everything that Helsmiths value, the like structure of like industrial production and the perfection of doing a job well and the like mastery over your materials and like claiming all these resources to turn them into something useful. They look at Skaven and they see like spreading wide and far across the land, destroying things just because that's what they do. Like not turning any of that into something useful, but just ruining stuff. They see their like madcap ass inventions that blow up in their face half the time and go, it should be illegal for you to own a wrench, right? Like that's why they hate Skaven so much, is that they
Mad at the rats in the walls.
yeah, they just see in them like a reflection of what they're doing, but worse, and they're mad about it, basically.
That's so fun. I can't believe you're mad at the rats in the walls. You've got to chill out.
Right.
They're just little mice in coats. Which I know they're not, but like I have such a weird like affection for the Skaven.
They're
like I
good.
just so desperately want things to be better for them.
Yes.
Like I just think that things could really turn around and they could have more.
I'm just picturing the scene from Cinderella with the mice carrying like food, and they're like walking in lockstep, except it's one of their big jank ass sniper rifles.
Yes, yeah, exactly that. Little coats.
Right. And the other exception within like chaos factions is that Helsmiths have a above average opinion of Archaon. Some of that's just like
You're not allowed to do that.
right. Some of that's just like power, where they're just like, oh, he's the most in charge. He's the guy who managed to like get all these other factions together under his banner and turn them into something useful. Part of it is that they consider him someone else who has also like used chaos for his own benefit.
Oh shit, y'all.
Yeah.
No,
they
don't do that.
They don't get it. Yeah.
Oh no, it's like people who watch a show and then not understand that the main character is supposed to be awful and then idolize the main character. You didn't get the messaging.
Mhm. Like everything in Archaon's life is bad because he tried to like do chaos's bidding. Don't like
It does no.
It's a
man.
whole
He's
thing.
a cautionary tale, not
Right.
an instruction manual.
But yeah, so that's like their chaos relation, right? Where like they don't see themselves as chaos. They don't act like a lot of chaos factions. Like they're very structured, they're very organized, but like mutation and working with other chaos factions and just kind of their general vibe of like the thing chaos does is corrupt, right? And so it seems like a lot of the storytelling being done with them is that they're starting from a place of like order aligned faction where like they have industry, which is a thing you need order for. They have like production and craftsmanship. We're not going to talk about them much because the book is a little bit light on details. But they have like noble houses and like family lines and like all that stuff. But then it all gets, like I said, gets twisted under the... I'll go ahead and throw the cover off. In the same way that Nurgle is the god of disease and Khorne is the god of violence and Tzeentch is the god of change, Hashut is the god of tyranny.
There it is. Okay.
And so that's what twists all there. That's why everything belongs to them. That's why they will take demons, which are sentient, right, and put them into weapons in the mass production like scale. That's why, like I said, they have noble houses, and none of that is like beneficial to anybody except for the people at the absolute very top. This is not like a nice, like, ooh, we're all going to court together. This is I'm from this lineage, which means you have to work in my factory for 100 years. I have an oath with your great grandfather that says it.
Gross.
And the whole faction will turn on you if you try and break that.
Oh, gross.
Using order as like an infliction of evil, basically.
It's a lot. Oh
it's
my
a
God.
lot, right? And they're neat. They got a cool aesthetic. And they're so bad. Speaking of so bad, let's talk about the big man himself. This is going to be the rest of the episode.
Okay.
I'm just going to be like completely, like we might have some time at the end for like why they're doing stuff now. But Hashut's just a lot.
Yeah.
So we're going to get into some history with this one. So you brought up, and I want to like re-bring up here, the like, ooh, this was our like original pantheon of order, and this is what went wrong, and they split up and stuff, and these other gods keep showing up.
Yeah.
This is the first we've heard about Hashut. It's so masterfully done. This is, I think, one of the only things in the book that we don't get two perspectives on, right? Like we don't have like the Helsmith writing and then also the like omnipotent narrator.
Okay.
We only have the Helsmith perspective.
Okay. So this is a very bias.
Yes.
Okay.
Everything we have about Hashut and his like origin and the story about how the Helsmiths came to be is from a in-universe document. It's one like document that is presented in its entirety in this book, which rips, called The Final Slates of Morgrabal.
That is a fucking great name.
Right. Morgrabal is this like prophetic like Helsmith historian, basically.
Oh, cool.
And these are his final slates.
Like a Nostradamus type?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
And these are his final slates detailing what happened with the...
Okay.
Yes. So I'm going to give you this bias accounting. And then we'll talk about like what's obviously bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we're gonna take it at face value.
As an exercise.
As an exercise. Absolutely. Perfect way to put that. So to hear the Helsmiths tell it. Hashut is the first, oldest, and wisest of the ancestor gods. The
ancestor gods.
Yes.
Yep.
The gods of dwarven kind. He is the brother of Grimnir and Grungni.
Interesting.
And I don't think we mentioned this in the like Shabbat or Akshi episode. It gets very like Greek mythology. Grungni, Grimnir, Hashut, if this is to be believed, and Valea are all siblings.
Yeah.
Valea is also Grungni's wife.
Yeah. Valea is the hearth goddess.
Dwarven goddess of the hearth.
Who was sacrificed to save.
Not quite.
No.
So she was, this is a little bit of an amendment from when we talked about her in the like shaman episode.
Okay.
Her like divine essence was drained during the old world by Nagash.
Nagash to bring Nagash back.
Yes,
right.
because as the dwarven goddess of the hearth, that means she also oversees like funerary rites and like all the things that happen when a dwarf comes home, right? And so she was a death goddess in addition to her other duties. Her divinity was drained by Nagash as part of his resurrection.
Right, okay.
And it's always been a little bit wobbly if that means Valea's dead or if it just means she got like disempowered, but then like God stuff happened and she's like hypothetically. Yeah. So that's always been a little bit up in the air.
It's the thing they got in their pocket. They could bust out whatever
exactly.
they want.
We didn't see her during the rest of the end times, and there are people who worship her in AOS, but we've never seen her in AOS as well. So we don't know if that's like a thing that like Grimnir and Grungni just taught them to carry on their tradition of worshiping Valea, even though she's not around. We don't know.
We don't know.
But yeah, so per this account, We have our 4, and there's a bunch of ancestor gods, but our like 4 core ancestor gods for this account are Grimnir, Grungni, Valea, and Hashut.
Okay.
Hashut is the oldest sibling, and so he is the wisest and the most like learned. And when the 4 like primary ancestor gods wake up for the first time in the mortal realms, so post destruction of the old world, they wake up and they all agree to a plan to each take they're going to take each of the realms. They would split up the realms between themselves, and they would oversee them to guide the dwarven people in these new like worlds. Okay, basically. So
pretty good so far.
Yeah, good plan. Just have a god stationed in each realm, guidance, and all that. We don't get much of the plan, except that Hashut suggests right off the top that as the oldest, he should oversee not just Shaman, but also Akshi. He wants to bear the burden of overseeing 2 realms to relieve it from his siblings. And he thinks it's important that the realm of metal and the realm of fire be governed cooperatively, because those 2 things are core and like integral to the dwarven identity.
Yeah, the smelting and the smithing. Yeah.
Absolutely. So to hear this say it, first person to speak out against this plan is Valea.
Oh.
Yes. So Valea doubts Hashut's ambition, which is in line with her domain. She is the goddess of the hearth. She's about like reservedness and like...
Also sounds like she should be in charge of the fire one.
Right?
Yeah.
Carefulness, defensiveness. Like all those are parts of Valea's domain.
Yeah.
Like Grimnir oversees when the dwarves march to war, but when things come for the holds, it's Valea who is on the front line, right? And so that defensiveness is in her nature. It makes sense that she would be like, no, don't bite off more than you can chew. Yeah. Even if she didn't mean it maliciously, like that's absolutely in character for her to do.
Yeah.
The second person to speak out is Grimnir, who the book thoroughly, like the narrator or the author of this document can't even pretend to hide his disdain for Grimnir. All the Helsmiths hate Grimnir.
Oh, why?
They call him coal-brained in like every... Because he's the like warrior god. He's like the oath god. And to them, that's like, you're like our jock, like god brother going off to...
chaos
right?
Demon. Like, I'm sorry. It's kind of an important thing to have a god in your playing field, in your corner when you got to go fight demons.
It's 100% just distilled like obnoxious smart kid energy, where they're just like, oh, we can't take Grimnir seriously because he throws baseballs instead of...
They say sports ball, probably.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, not as a tongue-in-cheek ironic joke. They say it to be mean.
Yes. So Grimnir states he has a stronger connection to Akshi, which is true. He woke up on Akshi, got the whole like fire thing going on. And Grungni, quote, poured scorn on Hashut's designs out of jealousy.
Okay, that's some good purple prose right there.
Yes,
that is.
Again, we're playing the game. We're playing the game. Absolutely, we're playing the game. So Hashut grumbles, but he agrees to their terms because he wants to keep peace while the world is new and they're finding their place in it. And eventually, he is assigned to Gur.
Oh,
realm of beasts.
Okay.
The document speculates that he was given Gur because it sucks. It's the least Dwarden-like, basically, right? It's a wild, untamed land. There's not good materials there. There's not, like, it's hard to, like, do anything permanent in Gur. But the justification that the other ancestor gods give is that only he could tame Gur's wild heart. That's definitely, we're seeing our, like, colonialism a little bit like come back in as a theme.
The manifest destiny. It's our responsibility to take this entire land and make it the way we want it.
Yes, the way Gur is cannot just be the way Gur is. It has to be a thing that is not yet utilized, not yet exploited. Yes. To hear the book tell it, Hashut agrees. He keeps his head down. He goes to Gur. He establishes the first ziggurat. Ziggurats are Hashut's holy...
Ziggurat's such a fun word.
It's a fun word. Hashut's holy structure. And he worked so hard in Gur, and he made so much stuff that was so cool that everybody couldn't help but recognize that even though he had been given the worst realm, he was still the best amongst them. To hear the tablets tell it, right?
To hear the tablets tell it.
So that goes on for a little bit. Grungni and Grimnir oversee their realms. We don't get what Valea's realm was in this.
Yeah.
Which is going to lead into a thing that I want to talk about later when we're talking about where I think this story lies.
Yeah.
Valea, Grungni, and Grimnir decide to travel to Urzorn, which is that first ziggurat in Gur, to see what Hashut is up to. The slates frame this as they are expecting to go there and laugh at him, basically. Right. But again, we're getting into that like speculative, like how would this writer know that they went there to laugh at him? Did they tell him that? Yeah, right. Like that very much like assumed intentions type of stuff. So when they get there, Valea, who has a strong connection to spirits and to the hearth and protection, senses something and accuses Hashut of powering his artifice and his like weapons and the things he is building with the wild spirits of Gur.
Oh.
Like taking those powerful god beast spirits and just like other like wild souls and spirits and stuff and forcing them into servitude in his artifice.
Interesting.
Yeah. The document denies it. The slates say that no, Hashut wasn't doing that. And his love for his sister was so great that even though it was a baseless accusation, he promised her that no such thing had occurred, nor would it ever occur. And then, seemingly as part of the same visit, Grungni, who has been checking out like Hashut's works, goes on like a big not tirade, but like a big like comparative like ramble where he just keeps comparing the things that Hashut has built on Gur to the things that he has built on Shaman. And to hear the tablets tell it, this was so like incensing and so like crass and like mean that like Grungni would come from his like realm of creation, his realm of making stuff, to Gur, the hardest realm to work, and then go, oh man, this is all you could make? Crazy. Wow. You must not be very good at making stuff. That was the last straw for Hashut. So in the same visit where he promised Valea that he would never do anything like that, as soon as the ancestor gods leave, the other ancestor gods leave, Hashut starts his plan to like break bad, basically.
Oh, okay.
So again, dramatized for this is the person we're aligned with. Hashut digs so deep into the core heart of the realm that he manages to hammer a hole into the realm of chaos.
What?
Yes.
Okay.
He cracks open a portal into the realm of chaos. Single-handedly or potentially with one other person, look for him in the second episode, depending on who you believe, single-handedly travels the realm of chaos looking for the Forge of Souls. He finds the Forge of Souls. He plunders it for demon essence and unholy metalworks, like stealing a bunch of like chaos-made like stuff to learn how it works. He brings those back to Gur and he immediately starts teaching his people how to demonsmith. How to create these unholy artifice and bind the souls of demons into them.
Oh my god.
Which,
dude, what the fuck?
Right? Like that is such a short timeline to be like, oh, Hashut's so humble and like, oh, he loves his sister so much that he promises her he would never do anything like that. And then his brother says one thing that's kind of mean and he immediately tunnels into hell to teach him what's up.
Like what he said was, I would never use the spirits of Gur to do that.
Right. True.
What? And if we're gonna, you know what? And if you were gonna be like arguing things based on text, one could argue that it was his sister who gave him the idea to do this in the first place.
True. Yeah.
She's really the problem. If you object to this, well, it was her idea. And if she was even conceiving of this as a thing she was going to accuse him of, if she even thought this was a thing that could be done, like she clearly has ulterior like secrets. We're just not investigating. Go on.
Hashut gets the Helsmiths to start making these like demon forged weapons. He teaches them his secrets, and he starts to enact a revenge upon his brothers.
Jesus, dude.
Again, in this, all that Grimnir has done to this point is be a guy that Hashut doesn't like.
Yeah.
But nevertheless,
kind of a dick, but
yes, he creates gifts, great masterworks of dwarven craft for both of his brothers. The book doesn't actually say what these crafts are, which is crazy, but he gifts them to his brothers, and it, quote, poisons their mind. It takes their innate proclivities and it hypercharges them to become destructive.
Ooh.
It corrupts them.
Yeah.
In the same way that chaos always corrupts, right? So Grimnir, overwhelmed with rage, just starts destroying vast swaths of Akshi, seeing enemies in every corner, like cutting the tops off mountains with his axes, is what it says. And Grungni is so overwhelmed with grief. He has, like, the book doesn't elaborate on this, so this is speculative on my part, but I think it fits with who Grungni is as a person. Grungni still reeling from the loss of the world that was, in my mind. Grungni is the maker god. A level of destruction on that scale has to be harrowing for him.
Traumatizing.
Yes. Everything we've seen up to this point, he is trying to fulfill his obligation as the maker god and, like, keep a strong face and help his people rebuild. But this, like, poisoned gift that brings out whatever is, like, dark within him overwhelms him with grief that through, like, great divine tears, his hammer strikes every time he hits the anvil trying to make something good. It reverberates throughout Shaman and tears chasms in it.
I'm sorry. Is this tablet meant to suggest that he is the reason Shaman gets destroyed so bad?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it's just, like, a bad thing that happens.
Okay.
Because we know what happens to, like, Shaman later. It gets, like, blendered. Yeah.
I was fully prepared for this to, like, blame it, because that happened so long ago.
Yes.
And at that point, it's like again, this is the thing I often come up against in this podcast, is that while we know what the history of the world is, because we exist outside of it, those who exist within it and are just living in these eras, before they are even defined as an era, they are just the present, don't.
Yeah.
Or some do, but your average person doesn't, or doesn't know the full story, or is just told what someone else told them, what they were told about it. No one was actually there when it happened.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, now you say that, I think that could be a good interpretation of them trying to, like, blame Grungni for what happened on Shaman.
Yeah, especially because... No, we're still in the moment. We're still in the moment. Okay. We're in the exercise, and we're buying into this tablet. I keep wanting to step away and being like, let me examine this textually.
We'll come back to it. I've got notes. I've got notes. Also, just like a note real quick on timeline. All of this is pre-arrival of Sigmar.
Okay,
yes. Yeah, that is important. This is early Age of Myth before Sigmar arrives in the realms.
Okay, that tracks.
So the tablets, this is the funny, I insert a note, even though we're in the exercise, I insert a note into this because this is the funniest possible framing for this, is that the tablets are like Grimnir, who is always like a schemer and like a charlatan, was therefore prepared to suss out the, like, trick that Hashut pulled. What? Which is just the funniest way to be like, yeah, our guy's a scheming trickster shithead, but so's that guy.
Yeah, so he saw it coming, but that's a problem, actually.
Yeah, it's bad when he's too wily and figures out our
guy did a bad thing.
Yeah.
It was shady, but it's because this guy's even more shady.
So the last thing that Grimnir managed to make before he was just, like, totally consumed by that, like, overflowing sorrow is a pair of chains strong enough to bind him and Grimnir. Do you remember way back in the Shaman episode when we talked about how Sigmar finds Grimnir and Grungni?
Yeah, they're, like, bound together?
They're chained to the top of a mountain.
Yeah, they're chained to the top of a mountain, and it's Sigmar letting them go that has the Dwarven Maker card being like, all right, I fucking owe you, and I can't be in your debt, so I'm going to make cool shit for you, I guess.
Yep, and what leads Grimnir to be like, I don't want to be in your debt at all. I'm going to go do something crazy right now, which gets him killed, right?
And Sigmar's like, I didn't ask for that.
Yes. Per this book, per these slates, and this is technically the first time we've ever had something officially say what it was, that's Thagdwagi. That's the great betrayal.
Oh, the thing!
Yes.
Oh, yeah!
When Sigmar finds like Grungni and Grimnir, they don't want him to cut them down.
Yeah.
He lets them free, and like they realize in that moment that they're not still taken by like this madness, that if this is to be believed, then that's like when they're cut free, they realize that they're no longer taken by the madness of Hashut. Then it becomes a genuine debt to Sigmar. But that betrayal was those cursed objects, that it's either could be interpreted as the cursed objects that Hashut gave them, or it could be the devastation that they wrought while they were under their influence. Because, like, yeah, that's probably not their fault, but they're not going to see it that way.
No,
they're the god of making
gods.
and oaths. Yeah,
like they like destroyed things and endangered the people that worshipped them.
Yes.
Yeah.
It tracks with them not wanting to say what it was. It tracks with the other ancestor gods not like associating with them.
Yeah.
Because it's that like top metal level. We know if this is to be believed. Again, with that long-standing caveat.
But when you first told me about that, I'm suddenly remembering that I went off on like, oh my god, the storytellers have this in their back pocket. They can bust it out whenever they want. It's this cool, deep lore thing that like, what is it? And so the fact that it is like here, but in this context, that is so fascinating, because it's like, we wanted to know what this is forever, and it's like, clearly not, but like, what if it is?
Right.
Or what if this it is, but we're not getting the like straight real context for what went down? Like, this is the incident being seen through this specific lens.
Yes.
And it's being refracted weird, but ooh, that's so good.
I like it a lot. Yeah.
That's so good. They did it.
Right? So yeah, we have this answer to like, what was the great betrayal? Because the Helsmiths, it's this thing, but we don't know how much of that can be trusted. We don't know how much of that is true, because it's being framed through this like clearly antagonistic lens, right?
Yeah. And the text that is meant to be, hey, our god's better than all the other gods. Like, the purpose of this text is very... All right, she's going to throw herself in the fire. Very similar to the purpose of the book of Genesis, which is to be, hey, our God is way better than all of these pagan gods that are running around. Like, that is, when you read it and you recognize what it's doing, it is meant to like be like, nah, our God didn't have to do all this crazy stuff, or like use spit to create. He just did the things. He's so much better than Ra and Zeus and all. Like, that's the textual purpose of this as a document. It's meant to be like, our guy is better than all of your guys. And like, that is what this is supposed to be. It's supposed to be like, our guy, who none of you have ever heard of, is actually way better than all the ancestor gods that you do hear about.
He's the oldest and the wisest.
He's the oldest and the wisest and the bestest, and he tamed Gur, and he dug all the way to chaos, and he invented this cool thing. And he was so like clever and talented that in his vengeance, he caused this great betrayal that they were so ashamed that they chained themselves to a mountain. And isn't that neat?
So from there, right, like Grungni and Grimnir chained themselves to a mountain. They're out of this story. Presumably they are there until Sigmar comes and gets them. But Hashut continues to like amass power. He has like taken all these like ancient like secrets of like demon smithing and like profane like ritual and whatnot, and is empowering himself. And Valea, as the goddess of the hearth, leads the war effort against him. He is desecrating like dwarven like existence. That's Valea's domain. She's well within her rights to do that. Valea leads the other ancestor gods to war against Hashut. It's not just her. She is like at the head of the cohort of like ancestor gods being like, you've gone off the deep end.
Yeah,
like we're not having this. Absolutely. Hashut swollen with chaos power. And to hear the book tell it, Hashut was clearly going to win. Right. Like, but again, that's part of this framing of like, our guy's the best, right? Is like, ooh, Hashut was the biggest and the strongest and the best. And he was absolutely going to beat all the other ancestor gods with one hand tied behind his back, until, quote, Valea committed an act so base that none shall speak of it, which both brought Hashut low and stole her from the sight of the Dwarden.
What the fuck?
Right? We don't get any fucking like clarification on what that means. Like,
It was just so bad we can't even talk about it.
Yes.
Like, it's only something so bad that we can't even talk about would possibly bring our dude down.
Yes.
And it's so bad we can never talk about it.
Yes.
But
To
trust
me,
us, it's really bad.
Yeah. To me, it's giving big, like her going out to meet him and being like, "Oh, you were so right, brother. Like, I totally should have trusted you. I'll come be on your side," and then stabbing him in the back. That would be a thing that like the Helsmiths would be mad about and not want to talk about, because that'd be them getting done in by guile, which they clearly don't like.
I was thinking more of it like it's total bullshit.
Oh yes,
Like
it's almost certainly that.
It always, but like in like one nothing. Like, because if it's like, oh, I'll be on your side, then she stabs in the back, you'd be like, well, why didn't he see that coming?
Right.
Like, she was always like, I can't believe you trust her. Like, why would he fall for that?
Right.
Like, anything that they describe that was successful in taking him down would suggest that he is capable of being taken down.
Yes, you've got it in one.
And therefore, you can't, and if anyone who hears that and think, well, he fell for something like that, like, oh, that's how she beat him, like, anything that actually gives an answer that someone can picture this and would think that's not someone I respect.
Yes.
So that's why I think like it's the as a document, the choice of it was so baseless, it's so base we can't speak of it, is meant to never allow an audience to ever have a moment of, well, I wouldn't have fallen for that.
Right.
Well, Grumney wouldn't have fallen for that. Well, Sigmar wouldn't have fallen for that. Like, not to allow anyone else to ever think that he is imperfect.
Yes.
Or like fallible in any way. So we just don't let you have that. Your brain isn't allowed to fulfill that, and therefore he is still the best and the smartest and the cleverest, and she was just this fucking bitch.
That's definitely the subtext. You're so on the money that you don't even know how on the money you are, that I'm going to like jump to a different point in my notes.
Oh, okay.
And mention that in the description of the, like I have a whole thing in my notes, because it's a new army, they have all new units. I have a section just talking about all of their like units and their like military structure and stuff.
Nice.
In the part where they talk about their like normal, just like sword and shield, like front lines, like infantry types, they note that while they carry shields as a means to display their like crests and their like family insignias as like a thing of pride, and because the image of like dwarf with shield is important to their like self-image as like where the continuation of the Khazalid Empire. Helsmiths do not teach themselves any kind of defensive fighting, because to do so would be an admission that someone could successfully hurt them, that there's an enemy that they would need to be cautious around. So they exclusively use that like shield as an offensive piece.
Oh, just throwing around Captain America style.
So that's the, like I said, when I say you're so right, you don't even know how right you are. That's absolutely what it is that they can't name the thing that she did to defeat him, because then they would have to admit that something could defeat him.
Yeah.
Right.
And if it was a thing that you could wrap your head around as being like, wait, that undermines their god. And so they have it's like trying to like work your way into a prequel where it's like, okay, the character has to end up here, and I'm writing to that point, and it's like any conclusion we get is gonna be fucking nonsensical. But I gotta get him there, because when we pick up and we're writing this, it's like, why haven't we heard about him? Where's he been this whole time? Something happened.
Yeah. And so the slates end with the name Hashut and all stories about him were summarily buried. The other ancestor gods conspired to erase him from history. Yep. What few of the original like Zardron remained went into hiding until the quote Age of Revelation.
Oh, neat.
Which is what they call the Age of Chaos.
Oh, no.
When Hashut returned and they could start recruiting and rebuilding.
Recruiting who?
Other dwarves.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess other dwarves. I was like,
there's a chunk.
Demons?
There's a hypothetical chunk of time between like all this happening, Sigmar arriving, like the rest of the Age of the Myth, and then the start of the Age of Chaos.
Yeah.
Where Zardron, like Helsmith as a like actual cohesive group, just didn't exist.
Yeah.
They existed solely as like disparate like individuals in other dwarven clans nursing this like thing that they came from, nursing this thing they used to be a part of. It's a little bit Operation Paperclip, where we have all these like provocateurs and these like inheritors of this horrifying legacy who are just kind of waiting for their opportunity for shit to break bad so they can go, I have a way that works, like, and get everybody to go build a ziggurat.
Go build a ziggurat.
So that's the end of the slate. And my next note says, how much of that is true? Fuck all, likely.
Yeah. Like, none of it. Like, none of it.
Yes. Like, yeah, we can't trust any of that at a baseline. I think we can unearth some truths in the, like, shape of the lies.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think this is a pretty good indicator that, like, Valea didn't die in the old world, that she was, like, here for a while, just because it's so focused on her.
Yeah,
like,
she's really active. She's like the first one to be like, nah, you can't handle that.
Yes.
She's the first one they roll up to the Ziggurat that's like, hey, I think you're being shady here. And he's like, no, I'm not. And it's like, you don't... Here's the other thing I actually just realized, is that you don't start with binding demons. It's not the first fucking thing you do. You absolutely start with binding the spirits of Gur.
You train yourself on that, and then once you're ready, you do demons, right?
Yeah.
Like, and also we have just like explicit word of God confirmation that some of the Helsmith's current constructs have beast spirits bound into them. So yeah, that's absolutely a lie, right? And that's the thing that Valea called him out on, which makes me think that, like, okay, Valea was probably around a bit.
Yeah,
she probably did something. She probably also was responsible for bringing Hashut low.
Yeah,
because that again feels like a weird. If you're not going to name what happened anyways, why call out Valea as the person who did it, if not to disparage her? Yes,
because they do. They describe what she did as like so based. It's so disrespectful. It's like, and what she did was like so awful that she's like basically implied that was like cast out of dwarven. And like the reason that we don't see her isn't because she made some grand and noble sacrifice to save all of like the dwarven people.
Yes.
It was because what she did was so awful that this is her just punishment.
She's shameful, and so now she's which
there's no way you're their brother. You're just some fucking guy.
That's the other, like, I either don't think Hashut is an ancestor god, or I think if he is an ancestor god, then most of the start of the story was wrong.
Yeah, because there's no way. I think that's the first thing you do. You make your god is the oldest and the wisest and the most powerful. So he's got to be the big brother of everyone else. Or if he's not the big brother of everyone else, he's the only one that didn't get swallowed and then saved everybody. And now we reverse the birth order, and now he's the big brother.
Yep. Darian does a mythology podcast.
I like Valea. She reminds me of Hestia.
She's great. Because here's the other thing about Hashut that I buried the lead on a little bit, is that he was a known agent in the old world.
What? I knew it!
Yes.
Here's the thing. Listen, if this is your first episode with us, this is the thing you need to know is Dalton does this shit all the time. He's constantly structuring episodes in the way where he gets to pull the prestige. And I'm like, what? Or he builds up narratives for episodes and episodes, and then it's like, what? And I've gotten to the point where I know it's going to be somewhere, and I'm constantly trying to find it, and I can't. I'm not ready. It gets me every time.
The prestige.
Okay, so we know this guy. We've heard of this guy before. So someone who got the Chaos Dwarf book and was like, fuck yeah, Chaos Dwarves are back, opens it up, sees them, and he's like, yo!
Yeah, Hashut was the god of the Chaos Dwarves in the old world.
Holy shit!
Yeah, like we didn't know his origin back then. We knew he was Chaos aligned. He valued the same stuff. He was the god of tyranny back then as well. And
is this just a Chaos demon pretending to be a dwarf?
We don't know. That's the kicker, is that we don't know. The only thing we have explicitly saying what he is from the mouth of the Helsmiths, and we can't trust them.
We can't trust them.
Right?
They don't know what the fuck's going on.
Right. So I can see it playing out in a couple of ways, because I do think there is room for, like, maybe Hashut was an ancestor god in the old world. He split off from the other dwarves early, like similar to like this is what this is describing. He did a bunch of bad shit then. World ends, all the ancestor gods like wake up in wherever they wake up, and they have this meeting, and it's not Hashut's the oldest and the wisest, and we're going to respect him, and we're going to have this conversation. It's, well, the world exploded, and we have to work with what we have, and we're going to give you the shit realm made of garbage to keep an eye on you.
Yeah, we don't want to give you a bunch of good stuff because we don't trust you.
And so we're going to work together because we're in a desperate situation, but we don't trust you. like I could see that version of events where everything went bad. We're willing to give people another chance, but through that lens, we can reframe all of the like when they're like, oh, and Grimnir disparaged like Hashut's creations. That's not a like jealousy, like, oh, Hashut does it better and my stuff's bad. That's a, hey, I remember in the old world when you were making like trains made of screaming artillery with like dwarves bound to them, right? Like, don't do that. Like, or when they come over to see all the stuff he's making, that's not a, ooh, let's go poke fun at Hashut. That's a, hey, do we want to go make sure that Hashut's not doing crazy garbage?
Yeah.
Like,
they roll up and Valea's like, hey, what the fuck are you doing?
Yes.
Hey, why is everything powered by the souls of sentient creatures here?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I would never do that.
Right. And so I like I said, I like that version where like Hashut is an ancestor god. He woke up and it's reframed.
Well, it's like a fucking Nagash also rolled up.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, damn it. All right. I guess we got to work with what we have.
Yeah. It fits with the kind of broader narrative themes of AOS, right? We're working with Nagash. We're working with Gorka Morka. Like, fine, we'll work with Hashut.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
I also like the idea that he is just like a demon. And that like the whole first part of the story is just like entirely fake.
Yeah.
And he was just like whispering into the minds of dwarves that naturally settled the Gur, like to like tempt them. And so that first like, oh, we're going to show up and see what Hashut is doing was them just getting wind that there was something like fucking with them.
Yeah.
Or that like the whole front of that, like maybe the whole story is fabricated and literally at the age of chaos, it's Hashut got back into the world and started telling people this story about him being the oldest ancestor god. Like, there's literally nowhere. What I think.
Yeah, I guess. Where's the Ziggurat on Gur then?
You
built this. Message.
There is a Ziggurat on Gur.
Is it as old as we could date it back?
Doesn't say.
Here's the thing. That's the first thing you do. Is you go look for archaeological evidence and compare it to like local folktales and see what you can piece together. If there's a Ziggurat on Gur, great. But like, when was the Ziggurat built? Was it built after the Age of Chaos? Because then we know this isn't the one that was built beforehand.
Yep.
Like, we got to do some archaeological digging. We got to figure this shit out.
What I like about this origin story, and they did such a good job with it, is that you can draw a line basically anywhere in it and say, okay, like before or after this is where it becomes bullshit, and it all just still kind of works, right?
Yeah.
Like you can still see the ways in which it would be like an easy story to adapt or to tell or to like twist, kind of no matter where you choose to start believing stuff.
Because the other piece of it is it also has to serve two functions within the narrative of the world itself, right? Not just for us, the people who are experiencing this as a piece of media and recognize know everything that is canon and not, and like are playing with this. Like you just said, like any place you can pick, like I think this is all a lie, but then here's where it gets twisted and true. And if you're in the world, this text is meant to serve, hey, our guy is the biggest and the best, and this is why we believe in him, and it's super awesome, we're the bestest, but also has to kind of serve as marketing to get other people on board, which means some elements of it have to be true to dwarves. There have to be other dwarven texts, other dwarven stories in which elements of this tale are reflected in, because that's how you get other people to buy into your thing. You take the beliefs that they have and you say, actually, I know the real truth. And you recontextualize it to be your thing, and you see who bites.
We all know that Grimnir and Grungnir were chained to that mountain. We all know, the
other ancestor gods didn't want to talk to them. We all know Valea's been gone.
And these slabs, like I said, the original slabs were like the last slabs of that one dwarf, but transcriptions of these slabs are in every single Zardron temple. Like they are propaganda. They are recruitment and reinforcement.
Recruitment and reinforcement. That's exactly what I was saying. And I think, so there are, it's intentional. A text like this is serving a purpose. It's also like remarkably well written, because it's serving the purpose in the universe that it's supposed to serve, and also serving the purpose of the entertainment medium in this game that it's meant to serve. That's so impressive.
It's so good. They really knocked it out of the park with this one. Yes. Really knocked it out of the park with this one. So that's most of what we have about Hashut. Again, as the Chaos Dwarves tell it, which I think is fascinating. We are going to speed through because I want to talk about why are they emerging now?
Yeah.
We're not going to spend a ton of time on it because there's not a bunch to talk about. And that'll leave us with a nice, clean layup for next episode where we'll talk more specifics. We'll talk about all of our military structure. We'll talk about the Great Ziggurats, which are our big four most important cultural centers for the Helsmiths, and we'll talk about our one famous face. I'll give you a little taste.
Let's go.
His name is way down here in my notes. Uraktar.
Oh, cool.
It's a good name.
Yeah, strong syllables.
Yes. But yeah, so why now, right?
Why now?
Because Zaradran got dispersed in the Age of Myth. They existed, as provocateurs and cultists within other dwarf societies throughout the Age of Myth. They started to reamass power during the Age of Chaos, and then they just kind of reestablished their ziggurats and went underground. They were hiding, they were building power, they were recruiting, they were reinforcing, they were building stockpiles. So for the most part, the Helsmith way is to kind of become overwhelming, right?
Makes sense.
We are going to recruit and mass produce weapons and bind more demons until eventually, and we're just going to spread. We are going to rip and tear the resources of the land around us out to do all this. And as we need more, we will just slowly spread outward like a cancer until the world around us is entirely devoid of anything that we can turn into something useful. And they were content to do that forever, right? We don't really have any stories about Helsmith raiding parties or armies or anything on the march. They would have the occasional conflict with mostly orcs and goblins who were also interacting with them in tunnels and stuff, Skaven and whatnot. Just anything that happened to chance upon them really seems to be the bit. But a event happened recently in lore that forced their hand. So we're going to talk about the inciting incident of 4th edition, the Vermin Doom.
Okay, sure. I wonder who's involved in this.
Yeah. So very briefly.
Could it be the rats in the walls?
It's true. In the build-up to 4th edition, we were coming up on the end of the era of the Beast. Kragnos was off doing his stupid Kragnos shit. And right, hate Kragnos. That's another... Welcome new listeners. We hate Kragnos.
And not even the same way we hate Nagash.
No, yeah, Kragnos is just...
we hate in a interesting way.
Yeah.
In a what a great character, fuck this guy kind of way.
Yeah.
And Kragnos is just boo.
Yeah, Kragnos is just boring and bad. So in the lead up to 4th edition, Archaon, in an attempt to deal the final blow, do something so cataclysmic that it would force Sigmar into the back foot and potentially win this war, finally crossed a line that he had not been willing to cross up until this point, and he acknowledged the rat.
Oh no! My guy, you are so desperate.
Right. When Archaon first got into the world, the major 4 Chaos gods sent him emissaries, and he acknowledged them and accepted their gifts and killed their emissaries, and his horse ate them. It was the whole thing. And the Great Horned Rat sent him an emissary, and Archaon refused to see it because he did not make a deal with the Great Horned Rat. He made a deal with the 4 Chaos gods, and he was not going to let another influence into his life.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I'm stuck with these dudes.
Yes. So he allies with the Great Horned Rat to be able to direct the Skaven. He gets the Skaven to go all across Akshi and pollute the ley lines there.
Not the ley lines.
Right? Start pouring chaos magic into the underlying magical through lines of the realm and stuff. Just an operation that would be totally unfeasible without the mass numbers of Skaven, and then Archaon is bringing that direction to it, right?
Yep.
Unholy alliance.
And I just we made Cinderella joke earlier. I do just actively picture the rats from Nim.
Yeah.
The rats of Nim. That
Absolutely.
Is what I actually. Whenever Skaven get
very,
mentioned, they are the rats of Nim.
They're very Nim.
Not Mrs. Risby.
Sure. No.
It's the rats of Nim.
It's specifically the one old rat who gets
scary
drawn
rat?
with very intense colors. Yes.
That guy.
It's just a bunch of him. Yeah.
Yes.
And a couple of the ones with the spears. Yeah.
Yeah. And occasionally the hot rat. You know the one. That guy. A couple of those. As a treat.
Yeah. So Skaven corrupt the ley lines, and in return, on his end of the bargain, Archaon formally acknowledges the Great Horned Rat as like a chaos god. Basically, like he up to this point, the Great Horned Rat has been a chaos god, but Archaon just doesn't know him, right?
I don't
like
know.
you don't sit with us,
you don't even go here.
But Archaon formally acknowledges him. The big cataclysmic thing that moved us from 3rd edition into 4th edition in Age of Sigmar was the Vermindoom, which is the corruption of all those ley lines finally spills over. It's finally too much for the fabric of the realm to bear. The main kind of central place in Akshi where most people live is called the Great Parch. It is just this huge like savanna style plain. A ton of stories and stuff have been sent there. It's basically like Age of Sigmar's main location. Like a ton of stuff just gets set there, like story-wise and whatnot. Like God Eater's Son is set on the Great Parch. Most Callus and Toll novels are set on the Great Parch, etc. Anyways, a full third of the Great Parch gets destroyed.
Oh God!
And replaced with Blight City.
Blight City?
The like sub-realm that all the Skaven live in.
Oh damn! Okay.
Yes, because it used to be
All right, next middle grade book set in Blight City.
It used to be Skaven Blight in the old world, and then during the end times, the Great Horned Rat pulled the city of Skaven Blight into the realm of chaos, and then during the Age of Chaos, the Great Horned Rat took the now thoroughly like chaos warped like Skaven Blight and just hung it in the stars outside the realms.
Yeah.
And Skaven will tunnel from Blight City into like the other realms and stuff to get places. And now they have just like basically all those ley lines act like a rubber band, and they pulled Skaven Blight into Akshi.
Damn.
Collided with it.
Not where it's supposed to be.
Very much like Majora's Mask to the Great Parch.
Oh, shit.
And so also the reason it's a third of the Great Parch is because if you take the slash out of that, it's 13, which is Skaven's holy number. That's the Vermindoom. A third of the Great Parch gets obliterated instantaneously. A bunch of very important like fortresses and places that were important to Sigmar and important to Fire Slayers and important to like the Forces of Order that were very thoroughly fortified positions like deep into like Sigmar reclaimed territory are now literally on the front doorstep of one of the most chaos corrupted places in existence. Right? Like a bunch of very important fortresses were just obliterated instantly because Blight City crashed into them. Like huge shift in the narrative. That's the event that when we in the Stormcast episode we talked.
Sorry, you keep describing it as crash into it. It's like yes, but like it wasn't like, and it's not. It's like the majority. Was it pulled down from the sky, or did it just kind of like suddenly, like a teleport incident gone bad, where it crashes down, or if it's suddenly occupying the same space?
It was pulled up from under the plane. So it did physically crash into it, yes, but from beneath. So it's not like Blight City is hanging over Akshi. It's like Blight City is underneath Akshi. And just like a huge chunk of it is now jutting through Akshi.
Because the realms are discs.
Yes. Yeah.
Is a thing I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
We're in a bunch of disc worlds.
Yes.
Okay.
More stable at the center, less stable at the edges.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, yeah, that's the Vermindoom. Back in the Stormcast episode, we talked about the Ruination Chambers, the Stormcast who are close to the storm, and how they were just like kind of ferried off to the Bleak Citadels to live out their little like quiet lives.
Yeah.
And recently Sigmar has like ordered some of them back into service. This is the event that caused that.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
People in the Ruination Chamber's souls are so damaged that like chaos magic can't cling to them very well. And so they are our forward troops to exploring Blight City.
Yikes.
Exploring and fighting into Blight City. A thing that any non-chaos aligned creature just can't do.
Yeah.
So that's the Skaven, or that's the Vermindoom, and that is the thing that also riles the Helsmiths to act.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, Vermindoom resulted in, I wrote this and I want to say it, a non-stop, near-apocalyptic level of Skaven pouring into everything everywhere.
The rats are in the walls.
Yes, there have never been more in the walls.
And now they're not even in the walls.
Yes.
There've never been less in the walls. They're in the room.
They're just kind of everywhere, yep. And it just like like I said, Skaven brand magic is just like totally flooded the realms in the aftermath of the Vermin Doom. Corpses left within like sound range of the great bells that hang off of the spires of Blight City swell and burst into rats. Like,
Oh, that's awful.
13 great bells adorn the spires of Blight City, and they ring all the time in sets of 13.
What, everybody's crazy.
Most people are crazy. You do not want to be anywhere near Blight City for any reason. And yeah, there's just rats everywhere all the time. It's bad. It's real bad out here after the Vermin Doom. So after the Vermin Doom occurred, the Helsmiths were on the front fucking lines fighting Skaven.
Well, they hate Skaven.
Yes. They were setting up ambushes. They were building entire like elaborate death traps. They were collapsing tunnels. Like, Helsmiths probably were the most effective people fighting Skaven right at the start of the Vermin Doom.
God damn
They
it.
turned their whole like military industrial complex towards killing these rats. Like,
Yeah, well, someone's got to do it.
absolutely. It also helps that one of the great Ziggurats is on the Adamantine Chain, which is the mountain range that used to border the rest of the Great Parch and now borders Blight City.
Oh, perfect.
So a bunch of Skaven pouring out of Blight City into the Adamantine Chain suddenly found themselves facing Chaos Dwarves they didn't know were there.
Like, what is this Ziggurat doing in these mountains?
Yeah.
Is this a Babylonian Ziggurats?
That one's called the Forge Anathema, which is a great name.
Really good. Really good.
It's it's
Good
in
names this episode.
Right, it's in a hollowed out volcano.
Fuck yeah, it is.
Right. Yes. So the Helsmiths fight tooth and nail, bashing back to Skaven. They keep them out of the Adamantine Chain for like a long time, which is crazy. And they only stop when Archaon's messengers personally arrive to tell them actually the Skaven are doing what they're supposed to be doing.
No!
And the Helsmiths still hate it, but they respect Archaon enough to be like, okay, yeah, we use the like lesser like chaos tribes for stuff all the time too, I guess. If this is part of your big plan, then fine.
Y'all work for chaos. Like, you can't stand there and pretend like we don't really work for chaos when you stopped fighting the rats because Archaon told you to. That is the most we work for chaos. Like, I know Archaon wants to kill them all if he can,
Yes.
but he can't, and he actively works for them.
Yes.
I know he wants to kill his bosses, but he's not going to.
Yes. The Helsmiths have invited the other most delusional person in the setting to their table, and they're patting themselves on the back for how good they are at using chaos against itself. Like, right? As they do exactly what chaos wants all the time.
Every single time. They could have just been like, pick someone. Hey, you want us to? We'll work with you, but fuck the Skaven. We're going to keep fighting the Skaven. But they can't do that because they're stupid.
Yes. So that is what spurs them to action, though. So the Helsmiths do the calculus. They have been happy to like slow growth and build their strength and spread like a cancer, fully confident that no one else is capable of taking their prize from them. Right? The realms belong to us. The other people here will dawdle in it. They will play in this sandbox, but eventually the adults will show up and we will claim what is rightfully ours. And now a madman with a chainsaw and an industrial container of like roiling acid has showed up to the sandbox, and he is threatening to destroy it all because he's a moron, is how the Helsmiths are interpreting it. The Vermin Doom shows the Helsmiths, oh, actually, if we continue to do what we've been doing and we just wait around, Skaven will just destroy everything and then we won't get it. It's so much, like I said, it's you are sitting at home and like your cats are playing with your Christmas ornaments and you're like, whatever, I'll put them on the tree eventually. Like, I have this purpose in mind for them and they can like bat them around in the meantime. That's whatever. And then,
They're sitting at the top of the tree and the whole thing's coming down. And you got to scramble up off the couch and your cocoa's everywhere. And you're missing Great British Bake Show because you got to fucking save the tree from falling down.
And then maybe the cats don't get to play with the ornaments anymore.
And then suddenly
right?
they don't get to play with the ornaments anymore because they can't be trusted.
And maybe you put the pets in a different room. Like,
Not allowed in the living room. Good luck in this house. There's no doors to the living room.
No.
They just get in.
And that's the mindset that Helsmiths are approaching Skaven, right? Where it's like, we weren't worried about anybody else. They wouldn't even know what to do if they got a hold on their stuff, and we'll just take it back from them. But Skaven, they're just going to ruin everything.
Yeah.
They're just going to destroy it all without even knowing what they're doing.
So, it's like if your cats are playing with the Christmas ornaments in the bottom of the tree, and that's fine, and suddenly you look up and realize there's a goddamn raccoon in
Yes.
the tree. And the
Yes.
raccoon is a fucking problem and can't be in
Yes,
the tree
absolutely.
or in the goddamn house.
Yes, 100%. And so that's the thing that spurs them to action.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing that says, okay, we're not going to hide in our ziggurats anymore. We're not going to be content to just like build strength. We have to act now because all the realms belong to us.
We can't let Skaven get in our things.
And also, it's the Vermin Doom, and it's also, it seems like a lesser element, but I want to mention it. In our Bellicor episode, we talked about like the Caradron fleet showing up, and the Dwarven god was at the head of it, and everyone thought that was going to be Grombrindle, and then it wasn't. It was Grungni.
Then you're just like, that was a retcon that
was absolutely a retcon that we're just never going to get confirmation on. But Grungni is back now. He's the only other ancestor god like having a presence in the world anymore because he's not. And they've started to notice that it's Grungni's handiwork on Stormcast stuff because he was helping with the anvil and whatnot.
Yeah.
And so it's both the Skaven where, oh, we have to act now where all of our stuff is going to get ruined. And it's also...
We hate that guy.
We hate that guy. And we hate his stupid little... Like, he's working with humans and making them, like, their cool gold armor and stuff. Like, that's heinous. We're going to kill that guy.
There we go.
Yep. And that's Helsmiths. That's why they're here. Yeah.
Helsmiths.
So that's, like, the core stuff. Like I said, next episode, if you'll join us again next episode, we're going to be talking specific people, the Great Ziggurats, army composition stuff. But for the time being, that's Helsmiths. We hope if this is your first time listening with us, we hope that you enjoyed it. If it's not your first time listening with us, thank you again so much for being here.
I hope you still enjoyed it. Yeah, if it's your first time, thanks for, and you listened to the whole thing. Hey, thanks. I'm glad you had fun. I hope you had fun. If you didn't have fun, why'd you stay? You can leave whenever you want. This is a podcast. You aren't in here recording with us. You can walk away.
Yeah, statistically, most of you listened for like an hour.
Listen, the episodes are pretty long. Can't be mad about that. Listen, the purpose of the episode is to have something going while you're painting your minis.
It's true.
That's the idea.
Yeah. But
your minis look great, and I'm really proud of you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You should, we're on Instagram. You should comment pictures of your minis under this episode when our post goes up, because that would be lovely.
If people send you pictures of their minis that they want to be shared, would you share them to the story?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That would be wonderful. Like, that would be excellent. Please do.
What's our Instagram?
Our Instagram is @BadMoonOrbit. No S, just Bad Moon Orbit.
Just the one.
Just the one. And yeah, please like comment under our posts with pictures of your minis. We'll feature them. If you want them shared, that would be lovely. Get a little trend going of people's painted minis, because isn't that what it's all about?
Yeah.
But in the meantime, I have been, as always, your Demon Smith, Dalton Montgomery.
And I'm Darian Smart, and I'm here to keep the dark in.
See you later.